Dit zijn Elma en Steven Bloom. Toen Steven Bloom uit Letland in de 70er jaren ging studeren in Amerika, ontmoette hij daar Elma Grettersson. Sindsdien zijn ze niet enkel partners in hun huwelijk, maar ook in hun werk. Samen bestuderen ze dezelfde diersoort, de kommomaan.
I don't think this is a common man.
You should try it, Steven.
I don't know, it's too big and
No, try it.
spread too much. It's a horse or a pigeon.
Okay. Could be.
We treffen de Blooms aan bij het begin van een nieuw en belangrijk project. Ze zetten lokaas uit in een gebied waar de kommomaan nog niet bestudeerd is. Ze hopen hier kommomanen te vinden en de populatie in kaart te brengen. Als ze hier een specimen vinden, kunnen ze dit gebied linken aan andere genenpoolen in de omgeving en zo de soort in zijn voortbestaan ondersteunen. Als het tijd is om de vallen te controleren, blijkt dat ze bij geen enkele val beet hebben.
I'm afraid we're not gonna find anything today, Steven.
No. Let's call it a day.
Are you sure? Don't want to wait longer?
No, they won't come. It's probably gone cold by now.
Yeah, probably.
So no luck today, but it's the first day, you know. We'll just get back here tomorrow. Alma spotted a small church nearby. That's a good sign. Common man often nest around them. We don't know why they do this exactly.
Oh my God!
What was that?
Oh God, I think I hit something.
Go back, go back, go back!
No.
Oh no.
What's that? What's that?
Could be a common man.
What?
Could be a common man.
You sure? Yeah, I think it could be. Check his feet, check his feet.
They're right.
Oh my God. Steven, you're right. He's still alive, is he?
Yeah, yes. I think he's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
make
great.
it.
This is just amazing. We just discovered a pure breed common man.
It's a male.
What?
It's a male.
Oh, this is just great. Oh God.
First day, you know.
Steven en Elma zijn erg enthousiast over hun onverwachte eerste ontmoeting met een kommomaan in deze habitat. Ze treffen de eerste handelingen die een verdere studie moeten mogelijk maken. Wegen, meten en het aanbrengen van een zender.
Be careful, honey.
Just trust me, Alma. I've done this before. It's in.
Okay.
De Blooms moeten nu wachten tot de kommomaan ontwaakt. Ze besluiten zich verdekt op te stellen aan de rand van de weg.
Look, look, look. He's moving, he's moving.
Okay, great. Look
Oh,
at
look
it.
at that.
He's such a beauty.
Yeah. He seems a bit confused.
Yeah.
It's a big one. Look at that. There he goes.
What a beauty.
Back to the nest.
I think we got a good one, Steven.
So do I.
Elma en Steven zijn euforisch. Dankzij de zender zullen ze het doen en laten van deze kommomaan van dichtbij kunnen volgen. Ze besluiten hem Bumper te noemen, verwijzend naar de manier waarop ze hem ontmoeten. De volgende dag gaan Elma en Steven reeds vroeg op zoek naar hun nieuwe studieobject.
We're receiving the signal from the transmitter, and we're going there right now. We want to get there pretty fast because the common man leaves his nest early in the morning, and he doesn't come home until late in the evening.
I think we're getting closer because the concentration of garden worms is rising remarkably. Okay, we're getting closer.
We there?
According to the signal, this way, and it should be right in front of us. There it is. Oh, look at that. It's very common.
It's beautiful.
Elma en Steven zijn onder de indruk. Alles aan het nest klopt perfect. De vale kleur, de loodrechte blokvorm, de symmetrie in de omgevende vegetatie. Bumper zou eens een heel zuivere komemaan kunnen zijn.
We're now watching the main entrance of the nest. Now, with the common man, you will always see that there are two entrances, each at the exact opposite side of each other. In between, there's a whole construction of chambers and tunnels that's really fascinating.
Another thing is, when they start building the nest, they always start by building one big nest. We call it the main nest. And then later on in their lives, they tend to expand it by building one or more extra chambers behind it. It's very interesting.
It's really fascinating. Steven, I can see something moving, look. Oh my God, he's coming out.
Let me see.
Oh, he's such
Oh,
a
there
beauty.
he is. Oh, he's
Oh my
beautiful.
God, he's such a beauty.
It's very common.
There, there's a female and a cub, look.
Oh yeah, it's
Oh, my-
still very small, the cub. Must be between 2 and 20 years old.
So beautiful, they're grooming. So beautiful. Hey, Jordy, write that down. My God. Steven, I want to go check on the female and the cub.
I'll get the pipe. She's down.
Steven.
Het team moet snel te werk gaan.
Okay.
Ze hebben niet veel verdovingsmiddel gebruikt om het wijfje niet uit haar streng gereguleerde dagritme te halen.
Okay. 60.
De welp is onrustig. Ze voelt waarschijnlijk dat er iets aan de hand is.
Got you bone. Isn't that great? Okay, you eat. You eat? I don't think she's hungry, Steven. Push it deeper.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Push it deeper,
I'm
Steven.
trying, Elma.
Common man has 2.3 cubs. Now, Bumper and his mate only have one. That's probably because they're still young. But I think later in their lives they just might litter 1.3.
Elma, she's making up. She's making up. We have to go.
Oh my God.
Hurry.
Yeah. Good. She's making up.
De zender is geplaatst en geactiveerd. Nu moet het wijfje enkel nog een naam krijgen.
We decided to call her Trite because, well, she's very trite. She's a beauty, right?
Yeah, she is.
Really gorgeous.
Definitely.
We treffen de Blooms 2 dagen later in Basecamp. Zij hebben Bumper en Trut de voorbije dagen van dichtbij gevolgd en hebben al een groot deel van hun leefpatroon in kaart gebracht.
Bumper's turned out to be a really healthy common man with a good nest too. We're really happy as to find such a pure gene pool over here. He really shows a typical common man behavior that's really rare.
Yeah, it's really fascinating,
Yeah,
you know.
it
He
is.
lives in what we call a 2-period system.
Yeah.
So this is typical for the common man. For 5 days in a row, he leaves the nest at exactly the same time in the morning. Then he returns at exactly the same time in the evening. This is what we call the A period. Then the system changes dramatically for 2 days and he becomes somewhat less predictable. This is what we call the B period.
The B period.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a genetical heritage from his ancestors who were night animals. Well, during those 2 days, you can actually see him living according to the biorhythm of those night animals. That's really fascinating.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
It's beautiful.
We volgen Bumper langs een van zijn nachtelijke tochten tijdens deze tweedaagse B-periode.
So this is it. A nightly drinking place for common man. Let's go inside and have a closer look at their behavior.
This is so exciting.
Places like this have a very strong social function in the group lives of common men. This is where they meet and learn to identify the other members of the troop. Often there are fights over the leadership and sometimes a mating partner is found.
Kommomaanwijfjes verliezen in de paartijd de pels onder hun keel, om zo aan de mannetjes duidelijk te maken dat ze bronstig zijn.
Hé, gast! Zit je hier onder de open te kijken, hè? En s'avonds is er geen aan, hè?
Their vision is based on movement, sound and smell. So if we don't move, breathe or smell, they can see us.
Dan moet het lachen, hè? Ga je pintje drinken? Kom, drink een pintje.
You can see how the big silverback is trying to provoke me. He's testing me to see if I'm a threat to his group.
Het grote mannetje kalmeert. Maar Steven heeft genoeg gezien en besluit de groep Kommomanen niet verder te storen bij hun nachtelijke activiteiten.
Because the dominant male was having a go at me, so it was getting quite dangerous. Yeah, I'm alright. It was so exciting.
Een Kommomaan-mannetje heeft zich afgezonderd van de groep. Steven en Elma kijken gefascineerd toe.
What's he doing?
I don't know.
He's doing this beautiful dance. Look at him.
It's a mating dance.
Yeah, he's trying to.
Oh, look at that.
What's that?
It's great. He's marking his territory.
Oh my God, that's so beautiful. He's going back in.
The common man has a very diverse diet of fruit, plants and meat. For example, these little orange pieces here, they're parts of a root, probably a carrot. These red fibers, they're some sort of meat, probably from a large bovine animal that he caught some few days ago. And over here, we can see some low-quality fat carrion. This is more of the food we would expect in a marginalis diet. So I think this is a new indication that the common man leans more towards marginalis behavior in a B period.
Het is laat in de nacht wanneer Bumper terugkeert naar zijn nest. Hij wordt luidkeels begroet door zijn wijfje en het jong en valt daarna snel in een diepe slaap.
Je moet niet met mij komen liggen in bed, jong. Je moet vergeten.
Bij de Kommomaan gaat het wijfje op jacht. Vaak wordt er in groep gejaagd. De wijfjes bewegen zich tussen hun soortgenoten door het jachtgebied. Met haar lenige lijf glipt ze zelfs door de nauwste passage. Even verder rust een groep loopvogels uit in de koelte van een schaduwrijke plek. Alles is rustig en niets getuigt van het naderende gevaar. Door haar natuurlijke schutkleur gaat het Kommomaanwijfje perfect op in de omgeving. Met haar scherpe reukzin vindt ze snel en gezwind de weg naar de rustende loopvogels. Ze probeert de grootste en beste prooi van de kudde te onderscheiden. Het wijfje springt uit haar schuilplaats, de kudde verstijft. De vogel maakt geen schijn van kans. Eens de strijd geleverd is, speelt het Kommomaanwijfje nog even met haar prooi. Dit is niet uit wreedheid, maar gewoon wat haar jachtinstinct haar beveelt. Door haar jong te laten spelen met een dodelijk gewonde prooi, wakkert ze de aangeboren drang naar de jacht in haar aan. Na het vangen van de eerste prooi jaagt de komomaan verder. Toch zal ze nooit meer prooien doden dan ze nodig heeft om te overleven. Dat maakt zelfs deze dodelijke jager edel en rechtvaardig. Trut sleept haar buit binnen in het nest. En ze moet zich haasten, want de eerste kapers zijn al op de kust.
Oh my god, it's the Homo marginalis. She's a monster.
Een kolossaal wijfje van de soort Homo marginalis of lolaaf trekt met haar jongen door de habitat van Bumper en Trut. De marginalis is een aaseter. Als Trut haar prooi alleen laat, gaat deze rivale er mogelijk mee vandoor.
You can see how she's trying to chase Stride away with those screams. I think she might even want to eat the cub.
Trut probeert haar belaagster af te schrikken met dreigende bewegingen.
Oké, onmuggevallen weer. Alles hetzelfde. Kan niet, kom! Leslie! Kom mee! Allee, Leslie, kom! Kan niet!
Het lijkt te werken en het gevaar is voorlopig afgewend.
Allee, kom!
De Blooms maken zich zorgen. De aanwezigheid van een marginalis in de habitat van Bumper is een slecht teken.
I don't trust this theory.
No.
Let's try it. She's in.
Marginalis is a troublemaker, always.
I know. Okay, let's get out of here.
Yeah,
Okay.
find a solution.
Yeah, okay, help me, Steven. Steven!
Steven kan ons meer vertellen over deze gevaarlijke diersoort.
I actually studied these animals for a while, long before I met Alma, and I was much younger and I enjoyed the thrill of working with real wild
got
animals.
bitten?
And I was bitten by one. Look at that. That's a marginalis bite. It's real vicious, so after this incident, Alma said to me that perhaps...
We had a conversation and we both decided it'd be much safer if we had another study object.
Yeah, it's safer, it's true.
It's just as interesting, too. Well, anyway, the Marginalis will have to go. We have to get rid of her because she's posing a real threat to us and Bumper, and she's probably nesting around here, too, so I'm calling Jared.
Listen, are you sure? Because you know how he messed up the
Steven,
last
he's
time.
the only guy fit for the job. We can't do it ourselves.
I have actually captured marginalis that
Steven,
were bigger and more dangerous
Steven, I'm
than
not
this
going
ones.
through with this again.
I could do it, you know.
We're calling Jared.
Calling Jared. I first met Jared at Princeton University back in the 70s. We were both foreign students there, and we studied under the supervision of two famous Russian scientists, Adolf and Rudolf Tupolev, who are actually the very founders of observational biology. At that time they had just invented the first ever tracking device to follow a specimen under observation. But the only tracking technology available at that time was a divining rod, which could just track water. The simple trick they came up with was to attach a small unit of water to the specimen under observation. As a first fieldwork project, Jared and I decided to try and follow a goose in winter on its travel south. But because of the large distances they cover, we used a considerably large amount of water. The outcome was really spectacular. We discovered that geese are actually non-migratory. They don't go anywhere in winter, they just stay where they are. And the whole story about seasonal travels is just a myth. After our studies, Jared decided he wanted to go back to Australia, where he said he could work more in his own way, so we'll see. He'll be arriving here in a couple of days.
We zijn enkele dagen verder in het onderzoek. Elma komt net terug van de luchthaven met Stevens jeugdvriend, Jared Crowley.
Stevie, mate! Hey, Stevie, mate!
Het is een hartelijk weerzien.
Hey, you're looking great!
Jared kijkt er naar uit om zijn ervaring in dit project te delen met de Blooms.
Yeah, I'm a wildlife hunter. Well, I've mostly been doing crocs and wallabies, but the techniques I developed throughout the years can be used on most medium-sized mammals too, you know. So, Stevie, mate, what's on the menu? It's a Marginalis, I heard, right? It's some kind of a fighting bull, ain't it?
It's a marginalis, take that, Stephen. It's marginalis.
It's not a bull really, but we've got some pictures inside.
All right, let's take a look.
Steven en Elma geven Jared een uitgebreide beschrijving van de Homo marginalis.
That's her.
Crikey, what a beast! Look at the size of her! Mighty! This is a fully grown bloke standing right next to her. Now she must be about 10 or 12 feet.
Jared, there's just a female cub, you know. She's about this tall, I guess.
Oh, right, vicious.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I can handle her.
Good. So, let's get our gear and get started, okay?
Yeah, sounds great, mate. That's one Marginius going down.
Marginalis.
Oh, yeah, right, Marlialis.
Jared en Steven zoeken snel de spullen samen die ze denken nodig te hebben bij het verwijderen van de marginalis. Maar dan komt Elma plots met onverwacht nieuws.
We have a problem.
I'm busy.
You have to come, Stephen. It's a real big problem. Come in. Come here, Stephen. Look at this. Oh my God, this is no good. Stephen, it's Bumper. He's still in the nest.
It's impossible.
But look, Stephen, look.
Oh, damn.
What's going on, guys? Something with the Marley Goo Goo?
No, it's Bumper. He's still in the nest. It's 10:15. Let's see, he's on the third day of his 5-day period, so he should have left the nest at 8:30. Okay, this is very disturbing. A common man doing something completely unexpected. It's never a good sign. Especially for the male. Staying in the nest can be an indication of sickness. Where's Stride?
She's a few miles away. She's probably gone hunting.
Oh, God. Okay, let's go check out.
Right, let's hunt.
Als ze aankomen bij het nest zit Bumper nog steeds binnen. De Blooms proberen hen naar buiten te lokken met typische Kommomaan-geluiden.
You see anything, Stephen?
No movement.
He's in, though.
Jared, shut up.
It's not a common man.
It's a mating dingo.
We don't need that.
Right, I get him for you.
No, wait, Jared. You've got better ways.
The Jenny?
The Jenny.
Jenny.
De Blooms willen Bumper graag uit het nest krijgen om te kijken wat er precies scheelt. Ze hebben het perfecte lokaas. Jenny uit thuis. Er is nog steeds geen beweging in het nest. Steven vreest het ergste.
Unbelievable. I've never known the Jenny not to work.
What do you call that?
The Jenny.
Right.
I think Bumper must be immobilized, broke limb or something, because I really can't see why he's staying in.
You know, I can get...
Maar dan komt het antwoord plots aan hun neus voorbij gewandeld.
Oh my God, Stephen, it's the marginalis.
Is that her?
Yeah, sir.
All right, let's get her, guys, now.
Not here at the nest. The common man will be petrified if they find their centerpieces of fur around the nest. Okay, listen. What we're gonna do, Jared and I are gonna lead the marginalis away from the nest. Alma, you stay here and keep an eye on them, okay? I've done this a million
I know,
times.
Steve, you're staying here.
Dat is niet goed. Kijk, kindjes, als Stanley van thuis komt, dan
Okay, Jared, you lead the marginalis away. Alma and I stay here, keep an eye on the nest.
Stay here, Steve.
Stop maar af, hè? Dat ze geen zitten krijgt, hè?
I could have done this.
Oh, ik ben content. Wat een zo'n vriendinnen kunnen zijn, jong.
Jared lokt de marginalis naar een afgelegen plek om haar daar te vangen.
Oh, ik kijk alle dagen naar thuis, echt waar, ik ben hier een grote fan. Allee, Jenny, wacht een keer een beetje. Jenny, ik kan niet volgen, hè? Kijk, ik ben uitgebroken, gelijk Dr. Dre, dat was een zo. Hey, Jenny.
It's not coming out. Check out.
Door hun jarenlange ervaring weten de Blooms perfect hoe je het nest van een Kommomaan binnendringt.
It's a risky thing to do. Breaking into their nest is one of the few things that can make a common man aggressive. But we have to... I mean... The fact that he isn't coming out doesn't promise a pretty sight in there. In fact, cases are known of lemming-like behavior in which very common men suddenly murder their families and then themselves. So we have no option. You ready?
Yeah. Be careful, Stephen.
Okay, go. Maar drink dokter 3 nog altijd zoveel? Ik kost nooit te drinken, nee, maar ja, wat wilde?
Intussen heeft Jared de marginalis weggeleid naar een afgelegen plek waar hij een val kan opzetten.
Hij zegt soms wel even, moet niet wegdoen, ze?
In het nest probeert Elma met de GPS-detector Bumpers precies locatie te bepalen.
There she is, the Marliugas. Probably the most deadliest animal on the continent. There's only one way to catch such a killer, and that's by outsmarting her. Now this forest is just ideal for a pull-up snare.
Careful. Shh. Let's be here. He's here. He's here. To the left. To the left. Where is he, Stephen? Stephen. Oh, kids. Stephen. Stephen. Is in here?
Op de plaats die de detector aangeeft ligt een zware steen.
Must be desperate.
Careful. Oh my God.
Oh God.
Oh God. Where is he? Oh, this is so terrible.
I've got to save him.
Stephen, what are you doing?
I've got to do this.
Stephen, no! Get out of... Stephen! Stephen! Stephen!
Rightio, our trap is ready, and the Marley Jolly is still there. Now, to get our foot in the loop, we'll have to lure her in this direction. Steve reckons this bait should do the trick. She's moving. I think she caught the scent.
Stephen! Stephen, come out of there! Stephen, answer me! Stephen! Stephen, are you okay, honey? Are you okay? Stephen, talk to me. Are you okay?
Bumpus not here.
What do you mean he's...
I only found the transmitter.
Okay, so he's fine then.
I guess so.
Oh, it's really...
His intestines must have emitted it.
Really?
Yeah.
But how can one single common man produce this massive feast all at once?
I don't
It's
know.
impossible.
His stomach must have been really upset.
Yeah, I guess it was. Okay, let's get you out of here. Stephen, you're so reckless.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Why are you always doing this? Okay, let's go find Jared. Come on.
She's so close now.
Godverdamme!
Boy, crikey!
Godverdamme! Hey, Beard! Hey, Hedda!
It's a biggie! Have a gander, crikey! You know, down under, we just harpoon him. Then you can reel him in instead of walking all the way. Settle down, mate, settle down. Settle down, mate, settle. Bugger! The little ones! They're vicious. You see the first one's colour? I'll bet he's poisonous. If one of these little fellas bites me, I'll have to make it to a hospital in 7 minutes. Or else I'll be paralysed. Now let's see who's faster, them or me. Jared! Stevie, mate, look what I caught.
Oh, terrific. That's great. That's a big relief.
That reeks! Did you let Fluffy off the chain?
No, it's a long story. Just let's just untie her and get her to a zoo, okay?
Zoo? Aren't we gonna do her in?
Well, Jared, please, come on. There's no time for this. Just untie her.
Oh my God! Stephen, come here. Stephen.
What is it?
It's right. She's moving.
Moving.
Yeah, she's going real fast.
80 miles an hour. That's way too fast for a common man.
No, they can though. When they're scared, they can.
Oh my God, it's a Morganalis.
Stephen, she's running away.
Okay, we gotta go after her. Come on, let's go.
Altijd papa zijn, Kalle! Altijd papa niet staan! Allee, hé, Kenny! Verdomme toch! Ben je klein, moet de papa halen!
Luttele seconden later zit het team in de jeep en zet de achtervolging in op de vluchtende trut.
The situation is really alarming. I mean, I think she must... To the right, to the right.
Here?
To the
Are
right.
you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
I think she must have been terrified by the Morganalis, and her behavior is really against any law of predictability, so My only hope is that the cub is still with her and Bumper, but especially the cub.
As we follow this ruthless predator in his flight, we will probably come along a trail of murder and destruction never seen before.
Oh, shut up, Jared! Will you just
Stephen,
shut
I'm
up?
shouting.
I'm not
Stop-
shouting.
Stop shouting, you are.
No time for jokes, okay?
Stop shouting,
the
Stephen.
common man is a peaceful
Stephen.
animal.
Oh yeah, is she? Then why is she running away so fast, eh? Hey, I'll tell you why. Because she's scared. She's petrified. And nothing is more dangerous than a scared common man.
15 minuten later arriveert de jeep op Trut's nieuwe locatie.
According to the tracking device, she's localized close to the lakeside, so I guess she probably ran into the water and had to end her flight.
I got the smell. She's over there.
Jared, the tracking device says there.
Yeah, right, there.
Het blijkt dat ook Bumper en het jong mee zijn gevlucht voor de marginalis. De drie rusten nu uit aan de oever van een poel.
Okay, they're pretty safe here and the family's still together, so that's a good thing. But we gotta get them out of here because there's no reason for them to stay here because the marginalis has been caught. We can't have a common breed like him leave its local gene pool, you know.
Jared, put it away. Do not need it. Oh, come on. I'm not busting lost.
Okay, let's get this thing going before they start building a new nest.
Steven, you leave it to Jared.
What?
Steven, leave it to Jared.
I can do it.
No, you can't, Steven. There's the three of them.
So?
It's too far. It's too dangerous, Steven.
They're not
me the point,
Welshmen, you
mate.
know.
I know.
I've done this 100 times, so I can't
Stephen.
do it.
Give me the pipe, Stevie.
You'll probably inhale the dart.
That's why we call them, Steven.
To inhale a dart?
No. Leave it to him.
Give me the pipe, mate. Oh, thank you. So, you're Sheila's bossing you, eh?
Het is geen gemakkelijke taak. Zowel Bumper als Trut moeten kort na elkaar verdoofd worden. En er is maar één blaaspijp.
When you approach them, you do it really carefully, okay? The male is always...
No! Jared! Jared!
Jared, use the blowpipe. Steven! Steven, come back here. Let her go. Steven! Is she dead? Oh my God.
It's a male!
No, it's the male Jared. Leave him alone. We know.
You just bred! You just bred
Jared,
out
get out
of
of here.
All right!
Jared, get out of there. Oh my God, what is he doing? Steven! Steven! Woo!
That's one common man caught, mate! Yeah!
This is the last time you've worked with
De Komomanen waren snel verdoofd. Al heerst er oneenigheid over de manier waarop.
I'm not arguing.
What?
You really screwed up.
Jared, for Christ's sake, be more
Handle
careful.
them more carefully.
You be careful, Jared.
Yeah, I know.
Take.
Bumper, Trut en het jong zijn terug in veiligheid. Het team zet koers naar het nest om ze daar los te laten.
There was a little commotion and things got kind of tense, but now we're bringing the family back, so that's a good thing. You're okay. Come on.
Als het team aankomt zijn de Komomanen ontwaakt en duidelijk onrustig. Waarschijnlijk ruiken ze hun nest.
What?
Okay, we have to let them go before they hurt themselves. On three, okay?
1, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Back here, Steven. Come back.
There. Hey!
Jared, come back.
Hey! Yeah! You got to think they're more afraid of you than you're of them, you know? Now let's see this fella just dart away when I give him a hard and dominant stare in the eyes.
Bumper komt vrij snel uit de aanhangwagen. Het wijfje en het jong zijn nog wat schuchter.
We clearly pissed him off. Now, I got an old bushman trick to calm him down.
stay here.
Wat wil je? Kom, hè? Wat? Kom nog eens. What the fuck?
Steven,
what have you done? He bit me.
Steven,
You hit
come
him.
here. Steven, come here. Steven.
What did you do that for?
Steven, come on. Come here. Come here. Oh, yeah.
Ik ga wel erop.
Watch out, Steven. He's getting closer, Steven. Be careful, honey. Steven, be careful. Oh my God. Steven, you did that! Oh God, Steven! Are you okay, honey? Are you okay? Oh my God! What have you done? Oh my God, is it not?
What a shot, Stevie.
Oh God, no!
Another one. Shoot it. Shoot it.
No, Steven! No! Oh God! You're okay. Yeah, okay.
Het is avond en het team zoekt rust bij een kampvuur in Basecamp. Ze overlopen de gebeurtenissen en zoeken waar het fout is gegaan. Hebben ze zich te veel ingemengd in de natuur? Was het allemaal te voorzien? Valt hier wel een schuldige voor te zoeken?
Yeah, but I think you did the best. And
Absolutely, saved our lives.
yeah, that's right. Should be grateful. Should thank God for that.
Yeah, when a beast like that is coming for you, you
Yeah,
gotta
it's
run,
the only
shoot.
thing you can do, really.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna check on the cup now.
Ze hebben één grote troost. Het jong is gered en kan deze lijn van Komomane voortzetten.
Still a nice shot, you know.
Okay, there. Okay, that's enough. You want to eat something? You're gonna eat? You have to. Oh, this is very good, little one. Oh, it's very nutritious for you. Are you okay, little one? You're okay. You're just fine.
See, I would have shot it between the eyes. Saves more of the skin. Don't leave any marks from the bullets, you see. Yeah, first kill's always hard.
Just leave me alone, Joe.
I'm just trying to help
Just
you.
leave me alone, okay?
Hey, okay. Moody fella.
Steven, are you okay, honey? Steven. Come on, Steven, speak to me. Listen, the cop's fine. Everything's gonna be okay. Steven.
De volgende dag zetten Steven en Elma het jong uit in een groep Komomanen van een nabijgelegen habitat. Hopelijk wordt het aanvaard door deze groep en wordt het als Komomaan even succesvol als zijn ouders. Zal het een partner vinden, jongen krijgen? Zal het een dominante positie veroveren in de groep? Maar vooral, overleeft het de grootste vijand van de Komomaan, de steeds sneller oprukkende natuur.
Voilà, dat is hier het prestigeproject van de zoo. Het idee van professor Van Dossen. Gooi eens een steen. Kinderen kunnen hier stenen kopen om dus te helpen spelenderwijs de dieren weer cool te maken in feite. Ja! Op de ballen. Voilà, als dat niet cool was.